Okay, I figured I would do another short video. It's been a few days. I've been busy working. So I started cleaning up a little bit more in here. I took the toilet out. As you see, I've got to redo the floor in here. This floor has been wet for a while. I think the wax seal here has been leaking. Plus, I've noticed here there's I don't know if you can really see it, but this floor's been wet a while. It's starting to swell. So this has got to be pulled out. But I noticed, and this is one thing you have to do when you're doing reconstruction in rooms like this or an old trailer, old house. You have to go through and see some of the stuff, especially if somebody did some work. And yeah, it's a little wet down there from when I pulled the toilet out, but there's some stuff here that needs to be corrected. And the way this was done is this floor was put in, and there's a gap right here that I'm not crazy about. I don't want gaps in the floor. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to do this. I'll probably end up removing all this back out, the vanity and everything else. It was kind of half-assed. It should have been done at once. And if you don't do it all at once, then you can have uneven. The floor can be uneven. You can see here that there's rot around the drain. The subfloor has to come out. I'm not going to build over it. It's, as you can see, so let's talk about this original subfloor that they used to put in these trailers. Are just horrible, and it needs to come out. So I got the tub out there, and I'll do another video on that here soon. But as you can see, some of the old studs are in here. This wall was moved here. Probably looks about 4 inches. And so I don't have any problems with the stud wall, but I need to start pulling this up and going through and redoing the subfloor. I don't know if I'm gonna have to remove this wall, but if you look here, this is the original studs in these old trailers were 2x2s, and then they started doing 2x4s in the new walls. Um, so that's gonna need to be corrected. May need to be moved. And then as you can see here, I don't know how the hell this wiring ended up like this. It's some of the older wiring that they used. I'm not even sure. It might even be the old aluminum stuff that they put in some of these houses back in the 80s. And that stuff's not any good. You got to run the newer stuff. And so when they ran this, I think the tub or whatever was in place here was in place because the stud was put in, but they didn't put the wiring in. If you look behind this board here, how bad this looks. You can see here that you got some wiring coming out there, you got some coming out there, and I think that's where it came in through the wall, the original wall. Now, the other problem is on this outside wall that they got so wet that it rotted out the flooring underneath the outside stud. So they built the old studs over it. So my question is, I may end up having to go up underneath the wall. I'm hoping, depending on how this works, to clear that out. I'm hoping not to have to replace the wall. I still haven't come up with a decision for that. I might be able to get up underneath there, clear that old stuff out, and get new flooring up underneath there nailed in. So these are some of the weird problems you end up facing with some of these old trailers and this old flooring. This is probably the worst part about an old trailer is this flooring. It's just junk. It gets wet and it comes apart really easy. It's poorly made. It should have never been approved for use, but I guess apparently no testing was done on it, or there was no standards at the time. So the trick is to pull that out. I'll probably end up cutting this with my circular saw, cutting it out and figuring out how to clear those corners out. But that's one of the things that you face. Or I may end up having to take out a portion of the wall, at least where I've got to replace the flooring. I won't replace the old flooring if it's dry and it's not rotted. But that's some of the stuff I'm trying to prevent and the other leaks in the house, and I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'll have to figure out something. And when I do that, I'll show that on the video. So that's just some stuff I wanted to show that you end up dealing with in these old walls. Now, it looks like, I don't know if this is new. It may not be. They might have used 2x4s on the outside. But there's the trailer siding. So it may not be that hard to pull these studs out, or at least cut them here, here, and here, and pull this out and replace this wall, because it goes all the way to the outside. So and then you can see how the bottom is out here on the trailer. This is the actual siding. This is the outside of the house. I don't know if I get in there that well without. It goes right to the outside there. So same thing as you're doing siding. I'm just trying to figure out how to replace that. This I might have to cut with something because it's the old wall board. And this is a drywall they used to put in with a picture of paneling on it. It's drywall paneling basically. And so there's some things I have to figure out with this wall. If I do take this out, I can always stud across to here. And it's just going to be hard to figure because they did some of this new building without pulling the old stuff out. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's not impossible. It's just going to take a few hours of work. I might be able to pull. Let's see, I've got to pull these. You know what they did here when they ran the wiring is they actually put a covering over it. It's just, I think it's metal, and they just covered that. They just cut a notch in the wood. So it's not impossible. It's not even that hard. I just don't know how far I need to go over. That's just going to be, I don't know if it goes farther back or if it's just here in the corner, right here in the corner. I'm not really sure, but that wood has to come out. Otherwise it creates a problem with the flooring and leaves holes in it, and I don't want to do that. So this has got to come out, and I may end up just pulling everything out of here. I'm going to pull these bottom panels off, and I'm thinking about putting cement board in, and because it won't rot, and doing the layer of the floor. So putting down a new subfloor, doing cement board all the way over so we don't have any more of this rot. So I have to mitigate some of that rot. And it's just how it goes in these old places. I've got time, plenty of time to work on that. I just, like I said, I don't know if this wall here is going to come out. There's a bedroom on the other side. It's not a big deal. I can work around the pipes. If I need to move them, I'll move them. Granted, it goes to the ceiling. I can always put in elbows. Things like that could be done. It's not that difficult. It's just a pain because it's extra stuff that you got to remove. So we'll see after I start getting that corner pulled out and this wood pulled out how that's going to go. And I'll do another video when I start on that. So since I've started to pull this back apart, I just got to pull the vanity out, and then I need to start pulling this floor up. As you can see, it's not a big bathroom. It's probably 10 by 5. It's longer than it is wide. Not too complicated. See here how they did the roof. They did a layer of looks like plywood, and then the drywall over the top of that. I might even cut that out. I'm not sure yet. Durock is not that expensive. Probably talking 10 to 15 sheets at $12 a piece, so about $150, and that'll really solid everything up once I get the subflooring and I get that fixed over there, and then that allowed me to put in some better insulation. This is running R13, so some better insulation in there, and then we'll work through that. I shouldn't have to replace that because this isn't, it's load bearing, but it's a trailer, so I can take these out if I need to and put some new, either replace the studs or pull them out and put them back in to fix that floor. Not a huge deal. So the other thing I noticed too is underneath here, when I was cleaning, there's a really weak spot there, and I don't want to build over those bad spots. If I pull this up here, because I might just pull this this flooring up here. I still got to see what this looks like around the toilet, where the toilet goes here. I'll clean that up and we'll see how that goes. I might just go pure cement board with that as well, and see how that moves. I might be able to get that to move up and down. But that subflooring that they put in, and it's 1/4 inch plywood. It's just wet and it's swelling. And bathrooms and kitchens are the two places that you don't want water damage. You want to spend a little bit more time on construction and putting in more durable materials so you're not replacing it later on down the road. It'll stop mold, it'll stop water damage, and you want to seal it. So this will be the end of this video for now, and if you like it, please like and let me know. If you have any improvements about the way I do my videos, please make comments below the video. Thank you. Bye.